Good morning, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11. You can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Here to take a look at some pitching for today, the 17th of June. It is Wednesday. We do have a 5-game day slate and a 7-game main slate this evening. A reminder that this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate. And I am looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play in FanDuel, cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now, with all that said and done, I don't believe we have much to worry about weather-wise, so we can just take a look at pitching for what it is. And to be honest, the early slate, the pitching is a pile of crap. But let's just dig in and see where we're going. Try to trim the pool down a little bit, and then gives us something, to spend our morning or afternoon on to cut down and kind of refine our pool a little bit. Mets, Reds in Cincinnati, obviously a great hitter's ballpark. I think Noah McLean has to be in play. He's really hit a wall and struggling over the last month. Strikeouts have kind of been down. Walks are up. Nice thing is he's eliminated the home runs a little bit. Obviously, 0 home runs allowed over his last 3 starts. 2 of those might have been based on who he was playing. Miami, San Diego. Not exactly hitting a bunch of home runs. He did keep Atlanta in the ballpark, but still only completed 4 innings in his last appearance. Struggled mightily with the Reds earlier this season. Obviously a worry. He's been better away from home. Now, obviously, this is a difficult park to pitch in, but still, based on this pitching slate, McLean's got to be one of the highest owned. I have not looked at any ownership projections or anything, but the slate just sucks. Lodolo on the other side. Lodolo is an arm I like, but just hasn't been great. His best start by far did come against this Mets team that was in New York. I think we have to consider him just based on that start alone, given that we just have some weak options overall. He hasn't been very good at home. That's an issue. This ballpark is an issue. But given that it's 5-game slate, we kind of have to take some chances. So I will be playing some Nick Lodolo. Kansas City and Washington, not exactly a matchup I'm considering a lot of pitching in. Avila has shown some interesting things at times, but then you see what he did last time out in 2/3 of an inning. 8 base runners, 8 runs allowed, 2 home runs, etc., etc. It's just bad. Zach Littell ended his strong stretch of starts or appearances, I guess, following an opener, by getting knocked around by Seattle. He's been able to limit the home run ball for a bit, which is wild because he was terrible for the first month. I think he gave up the most home runs in baseball last year as well, or at least his top 2 or 3 in home runs allowed. So, the home runs are still going to come back. I do believe that. I don't think he's suddenly found a way to keep the ball in the ballpark. He does get lucky and face Kansas City, who does not hit a whole lot of home runs overall. But I just don't think I can get to either pitcher in that game. Miami, Philadelphia. Andrew Painter has looked pretty rough for a little while now. One start against the Miami Marlins was not terrible, but it wasn't great. A lot of base runners allowed. 7 strikeouts is nice, but Miami just hasn't really been a huge K squad. He is better when pitching at home. So that's where he's at today, but I just don't think I can get to Andrew Painter. San Diego Contra, I am going to get to. It's a volatile spot. Obviously, we know the power that Philadelphia has. He's been much worse on the road, which is obviously where he's pitching today. 7 strikeouts in back-to-back starts. Good to see. And he's capable of going deep in games. And that's a big thing. Big separator, especially on a 5-game slate for me. The upside is there, and that's what I'm looking for. Definitely not safe in a road environment against that lineup, but still, there isn't a lot of safety on this slate. Detroit, Houston, Casey Mize was supposed to be activated off the IL on Sunday. The game got rained out. A few extra days probably won't hurt him at all. Houston's a so-so opponent. I think he's got to be in play. He's worse on the road. Strikeout numbers are stronger on the road, but it's not ideal. I think he's probably got to be fine. His last start in rehab was 55 pitches, so there is going to be some sort of limitation to him. Could be 70 pitches, could be 75, maybe 80, but I don't think it. I mean, unless he got an extra bullpen session in because of the postponement, etc. He might be somewhat limited, so his upside's kind of capped. The only problem is, like I mentioned, pitching on the slate is terrible, so I think he's still in play despite all that. Peter Lambert on the other side has been fairly decent, surprisingly. Some home runs allowed recently. Walks had been an issue. Not really a big K guy. I do think that he gets some K upside in the matchup. He hasn't been as good at home as he's been on the road, but still, I do think he's somebody that we have to play given the slate in front of us. San Diego, St. Louis, I have no interest in Griffin Canning. Very little interest in Kyle Leahy. As much as I've been picking on San Diego, I just don't know if Leahy's a guy that I'm going to get to on this particular slate. Even though it's been, such a rough slate. But there's that first slate. Let's take a look at the main slate this evening. Toronto, Boston. Max Scherzer giving up a lot of home runs. Kind of what he does now, allowing way too many base runners. Unfortunately, I feel like the ship has really sailed for a Max Scherzer at his age. Hate seeing these numbers. It's been such an impressive pitcher. And as much as I've been picking on Boston with pitching, I don't think I can do it with Max Scherzer this evening. Jake Bennett hasn't been that great with Boston either. Taking on a team that doesn't strike out all that much, I think it's an easy pass on pitching in that game. White Sox, Yankees. Anthony Kay coming off of a pretty solid performance against the Dodgers, I would say. Could he do it against the Yankees? He probably could as a lefty. I don't think I'm going to get to Anthony Kay, but I can understand if some people want to gamble and do it. I just don't think I want to do it. Sorry. I don't mind picking on the Yankees sometimes with some pitching, but I wasn't very big into Davis Martin yesterday. I don't think there's a reason for me to be big on Anthony Kay today. The other side, Carlos Rodon, had been getting better each start. Last start wasn't as strong, but still 21 DK points we can live with. Been in the mid-90s for pitch count now. The walks are the issue. 7 strikeouts in 3 out of his last 4 starts is always a plus. Taking on his former team, I'm interested in him. I don't mind left-handed pitching against the White Sox. White Sox are a little bit of a dangerous lineup, but they haven't been as dangerous without Murakami. I think like Miguel Vargas is probably a big threat, but still, or even Randall Grichuk, I guess. But I think Carlos Rodon's going to offer enough upside on this slate for us. San Fran, Atlanta. Brubaker sliding in for a spot start or a bullpen game. I'm not sure what their plans are. He's a former starting pitcher with the Pirates, I believe. Been working out of the pen. Season high of 46 pitches so far. So, yeah, I mean, maybe he's a 4-inning guy. No interest there. Am interested in J.R. Ritchie because I continue to pick on San Francisco with pitching. His first start this season was pretty strong. Gave up a couple solo home runs, but 7 strikeouts. His last start was pretty strong. Definitely probably deserved to pick up a W there, which would have increased his fantasy point production. I think J.R. Ritchie's an excellent option. He's not some guarantee. He has had some struggles at the major league level, but he's a young arm. I think he's in a good spot against a San Francisco offense that I feel is one of the weakest in all of baseball right now. At least they have been so far. Cleveland, Milwaukee. Brandon Sproat coming off of a pretty solid performance, but it wasn't all that great either. There's some K upside, but there's some walk upside as well. Ks have come down, but the walks have been down. So I think that feels like they're kind of working on some things with him. Just 68 pitches in 6 innings last time out. I think he's probably capped at 6 innings, most likely capped at 5 innings, based on how they've treated him. I just don't want to get there. Like, I get Cleveland's offense has been bad, and then take out J-Ram, DeLauder, Angel Martinez, and you get a super watered-down, weak-looking team. I just don't think I can trust Brandon Sproat. On the other side, Gavin Williams is somebody that I obviously like playing. Not the most ideal spot. He is weaker when he's on the road, but his strikeout numbers are better, but he's just weaker from a DFS perspective. He's capable. Like, he could come in here and throw a gem, and I would not be shocked. So for that, I'm going to use him. I just don't know that I'm going to go super heavy on him at this point. Wrigley Field, wind blown out to right center again. I just can't get there. I played Assad a little bit. He only threw 39 pitches. Oh, let me scroll up. He did throw 85 pitches. We did play him against San Francisco here. Back-to-back solid performances. I want to consider him, but that weather just makes me worried for offense. Most likely I'm not going to get there on Assad. Sean Sullivan, talented arm, has struggled this year in the minors. I'm not getting there, even though I think the Cubs offense can struggle at times. Pitt and the A's in Sacramento. I like Braxton Ashcraft for an upside play. 3 starts ago against Minnesota, he struck out 11. Like, he can do that. 5 starts ago, he struck out 9. He can put up 30 to 35, or he could put up 11. It's a super volatile spot in that ballpark against that A's offense, but still, I am interested in Braxton Ashcraft. I am not interested in Savali. He has had a couple of decent starts, but I don't think I'm going to do that. He's struggled in this ballpark. I know the last 2 days I played JT Ginn and Jack Perkins. I'm not going to make it 3 days in a row with an A's pitcher. Last game of the night, probably the best pitching matchup on the slate. George Kirby, Kyle Bradish. Logan Gilbert absolutely dominated this Baltimore offense. Kirby was pretty good against them last week. He struck out 10 in 6 innings. Did give up 3 runs, but that's all right. Especially if the strikeouts come. Now, obviously, that's a big strikeout number where he had maxed out at 7 previously this season. I expect his numbers to get better at home, similar to what I wrote about Logan Gilbert yesterday. Some positive regression in the home start should come towards George Kirby as well. So he's somebody I'm going to be utilized. I do think the field might overuse him based on what Logan Gilbert did yesterday, though. On the other side, Kyle Bradish struggled against Seattle last week. 3 home runs allowed in 4 innings. Better ballpark. Maybe those home runs don't happen. He's been volatile. A lot of walks. His strikeout numbers are all over the place. Not as consistent as we thought they would be. But when things come together, we do have 30 fantasy point ability. He's been worse on the road. That's an issue. It's a huge issue based on these numbers. I am going to use Kyle Bradish, but I definitely expect him to be lower owned because he's just looked like trash, especially on the road. But there we have it. There's our first look at the pitching options on the slate. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will drop links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off any MLB package. Or Best Ball 2026 gets you 20% off any NFL or VIP Core 4 membership, which includes baseball. And that's for the life of your membership. There's a link in the description for our merch store. You can check out my design and some of the other stuff we have going on. Hit my comments. Let me know what you think of the pitching on today, especially that early slate. I think it's gross. Let me know what you're looking at. And as always, best of luck, everybody.